In today's video, we're going to be going over your hot takes because a lot of you guys got some good stuff. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. The first hot take is by Uno, and he straight up says Shonen is dead. Now, it's actually kind of funny because I have a video coming up that's kind of similar to this, so I won't go too much into detail, but I guess it kind of depends on what do you mean by Shonen is dead. Like, I think Shonen, there's a lot more Shonen that are kind of not diverse, but like Shonen will never, I think, take over the reins of the world like it used to. Like Shonen is now just one of the genres essentially. And I think a lot of people, when they think of Shonen, they think of like battle Shonen. I think that's cooked. I don't think that'll ever be the forefront as much as it used to be. Shit's a bit upsetting. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to skip over the take or whatever, but that's kind of how I feel about that. I wouldn't say it's dead. There's still some shit. Like even with JJK, it ended, but when it was in its prime, it was cooking. Like people, and this might be a little bit biased because I think I was a manga only reader or whatever, but Shonen that shit was popping. Like Twitter was popping with JJK, and I think even One Piece, but that's a little older too. So I think I largely kind of agree somewhat that Shonen overall are not as popular. Sage says romance is the best genre of anime in big 2024. I'm saying maybe I'm out the loop because I'm not a romance nigga myself, but I'm gonna let you cook. I'm gonna let you have that because I can't think of any like romance anime that niggas like, oh, you have to watch this shit going crazy. Like that shit kind of weak to me. I think a lot of people like romance anime. It's never really, tickled my fancy. That shit sound weird, but it's never really done that, you know what I'm saying? So, and I feel like the anime that I think have been like the most popular in 2024, I want to say aren't romance. So I'm gonna have to disagree with bro on that. Guyver X has commented, older series are way better than most current ones. And this, shout out Guyver actually, because this comment spawned a whole video, which I think is gonna be check it out. It'll drop at some point. But shout out my friend Kareem as well, because he said that he thinks that older shonen anime were better back then, but everything else is better now. It's kind of hard because some of the more like not as saturated older anime kind of got left behind. It's really honestly how you view the medium, because when you look at the newer anime and stuff like that, shit, like a lot of the newer anime were kind of like, oh, a fuck ton of filler, and you have like a bunch of random shit. I feel like it was more fan service, a bunch of weird stuff. But the new anime, that shit is concise. Like you got 12 episodes and it's cooked. That's season 1. Then it's 8 episodes of season 2. Like there's not a lot of time. There's no longer, I think Fairy Tail like 400 episodes. Like you're not getting shit like that no more. I think if we're looking like an all-time list, it's more older anime than newer. So that's what I'm gonna definitely say. Shout out my boy Jordan, you know what I'm saying? Jordan with the actual real ass take, you know what I'm saying? I can't lie to you. Says Reborn needs an anime retake ASAP. That shit is true. I'm probably even gonna make a video about that because I think Reborn is, y'all know Reborn slept on. That's my shit. You know what I'm saying? That's, I'm saying a lot. Some people got vices like food. You might do like niggas have vices. My vices is Reborn. So that shit's tough. I think Reborn could definitely use an anime retake and remake in some way. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's, redoing the beginning and and like the ending, or just kind of redoing the entire thing where you got the new animation and all that shit. That would hit crazy. Star Platinum, you know what I'm saying? Star Platinum is one of the horniest niggas in the Discord. So this doesn't surprise me. Star Platinum basically came through saying fan service is the best thing anime has to offer. That's kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie, because I feel like anime has a lot of hard shit. Like the music is hard, the fighting is hard, the storytelling is hard, the development is hard, but you came straight to fan service. You wasn't hoarding your ankle lot. Tsunade does exist. So at the same time, I'm not trying to be a gooner, but I'm gonna let him cook. You know what I'm saying? Star's a funny ass nigga, so I'm gonna let him cook. So shout out Arlong. Arlong's take is, I think, very interesting. And he says that Naruto's fillers are goated. I don't get why people don't like them. I think that's interesting. Even though I watched Naruto growing up and stuff, I don't know how. I just kind of never really got too much of the filler. Even growing up, I don't know how they did it, but maybe they did. Maybe I just don't remember. I've seen some of the shit, but I never some people sat through filler on some like week to week. That shit is dead. I never did that. I ain't gonna give it that to you, but I can't lie. Like Naruto's filler is not that good, I don't think. I think the coolest filler they had was like the Itachi stuff. The Infinite Tsukiyomi shit was kind of cool, but that was too far in between, Besides that, there's a lot of filler with Naruto that's kind of useless. Like I think the filler between part 1 and 2 and Shippuden is like trash from what I remember. Like that shit's not hard. Arlen, I am curious on which filler are you talking about specifically? Like which ones do you really like and why? Yeah, LeCap says Naruto is not relevant in big 2024. I guess it's like, what do you count as relevant? Because I think even in the video, I think it was Panda, he was like, yo, Naruto's not relevant and now there's Full Metal. And I'm like, yo, if you don't think Full Metal is relevant, then you're just saying that it's not relevant because no one's talking about it. But those shows have been over for like a decade and a half now, So it's like at some point, what is there to talk about with Naruto? That shit is over. Like we got a freaking Minato one shot or whatever like a year ago, and Naruto was booming for a second, then it died down because there's nothing new. I don't even know how people like Swag Kage and them niggas was making Naruto content for like 5 years after, because there's not really much to say on Naruto. Like, you gonna power skill that shit again? It's been done to death. I think it's funny because saying a series is not relevant, like, oh, it's not relevant and that's a big statement, as a hot take means that it's kind of already still relevant, you know, if that makes sense. So, but Naruto's not relevant like it was 2012 or some shit. So I agree with that. Shout out Mr. Edward Robinson 6089. I don't know who that nigga is, but he had a very interesting comment, and he said that Netflix animation like Cyberpunk, Arcane, and like Castlevania have been better than anime in the past 2 years. And even though that nigga is kind of tweaking because Cyberpunk's an anime, so there's a little wrong there, but I guess he's kind of saying like Netflix anime can count, which I think he recounts later. But I think it's interesting. They definitely have their style. Like when you look at Cyberpunk, like Cyberpunk, for instance, has its own little style, like its animation. I don't know if I'd say it's better, considering that Netflix is its own little standalone thing. It's pretty impressive. But the past 2 years, so we're comparing it to like JJK. Tokyo Revengers had bad animation, but Dawn to Dawn, I mean Bleach, I don't know what this thing is, but I don't know if I can say that. It's pretty impressive, but I don't think it's been better in the last 2 years, because you gotta like, if we're gonna go the best of the best, we gotta compare it to the best of the best. But I guess if you're saying overall, it probably beats it just because there's a lot less anime. Like the average quality of the animation is probably higher. But if we're going band for band, like I still think that the non-Netflix niggas have it. I need some more insight on this, Chosen. I know you're gonna see this video, so I definitely need you to talk about this in the comments. But you said JJK's ending was good. Now, I don't even think JJK's ending was, no, let me not cap. I don't think JJK's ending was bad. I think the build up to the ending was bad. Like basically, I think from when Gojo got his shit split to when the series ended, I was like, yo, this shit was not, like, it was hitting. You knew it was kind of a drop off, but you couldn't accept it until you look back and you're like, yo, this shit was steadily falling off. Basically, that's how I'm looking at it. But the ending in itself was okay. I just think that there's a lot of holes in the end of it. Like the Nobara, if you're gonna bring her back way earlier than the last 5 chapters. Same for Megumi, even I think. Even though Megumi he had a lot more like character development and whatnot, but that was kind of bad. Bringing every character back from the woodwork to get beat by Sukuna was not fun. I don't think that was great, especially like Toto. I think Toto kind of a lot more. Talked about that as well. A lot of stuff like that was kind of like, even the Sukuna thing, like I understand how they brought Sukuna down to earth and in terms of strength and shit. I don't know, bro. It's just kind of like seeing how strong Sukuna was against Gojo, seeing him against people like Kashimo, it just didn't really make sense. And then we're not even talking about the Kenjaku stuff, because the way they were hyping that nigga up, he was supposed to do way more and he just didn't. Or even Hikari, because Hikari also was a character that people were looking at like, oh snap, he finna be that guy. He has so much potential. This nigga's fight gets off screen. We have an opponent who he fights, and then it's like, we don't know how strong the girl is, and then that fight gets off screen, so we can't even say he fought a strong person. It's just a waste of like a lot of people's, not time, but just that shit upsetting to me, bro. Shout out Big Shot. He said One Piece's humor sucks, especially the Sanji shit. Now go back and watch pre-time skip One Piece. That shit is legitimately funny. Like there are some scenes I'm like, yo, I'm like my little brother, he'll be pulling up clips sometimes and I'm like, yo, this shit is hilarious. I can't lie to you. Post time skip, they turn that shit up to like 11. That shit was not fun to me. Like, I feel like the last time I really laughed in One Piece was like when Kid, Luffy, and Law were trying to dodge the fire attack. That shit was kind of geeking me, because I'm like, we actually, like, I felt like Zoro, I was like, nigga, we were fighting 2 Yako, like lock the fuck in. That was the last time I felt like was really funny, and that shit was a while ago. And y'all niggas might not even think that's even funny. So, and the Sanji shit was, yeah, the Sanji shit is not cool, bro. Like, I don't think it was like ever super funny. I think they're doing it to death too. Like, it's been year 25 of this shit, bro. Like, this shit older than LeBron James's career. Like, I'm not trying to see Sanji girl jokes anymore, bro. Like, let it die, bro. Let it die. And let him get a girl. This shit nasty. Shout out Panda. He said ongoing anime are better than seasonal one. And this shit is actually interesting because I never looked at this point specifically. I guess it's depending on what you like. So ongoing anime are like One Piece or how Naruto and Bleach were, where it's like them niggas are running 24/7. Like them niggas are working an Amazon job. They don't stop. Because of that, they throw like big ass filler arcs and things like that for the manga to get the lead back on the anime. Because if the anime catches up, you gotta fluff that out a little bit. Season anime are, they'll give you the prime of 10 episodes and then you won't see another season for a year or two. I honestly agree, because there are times I'll watch an anime and I'm like, yo, this shit is tough. And then I look and there's no next season. And then by the time the next season comes out, I'm done with that shit. Like, the thing is, if I'm not in the mood to start the first episode, then I have to play catch up, and that makes it dead. Because then I'm like, yo, I'm 3 episodes behind. I got shit to do. And then by the time it's like 5 episodes, and it's just like, I'm done. I don't know if I'm ever watch it again. That shit happened with Fire Force. Like, Fire Force season 1 was tough. I waited a year for season 2 and then I got bored. Demon Slayer, that happened. I was like, oh shit, Demon Slayer's about to go crazy. That shit happens all the time for me, bro. And I think that's only a seasonal thing. Obviously, the grass is always greener, because I'm old enough to remember when niggas used to complain about Naruto, like, Naruto is filler Naruto, half of the series is filler. I remember that shit. I can't gaslight me. I remember that. But it's like, at least Naruto was always in the airwaves. Like, niggas can make fun of the new filler episode, but at least we could see the yellow haired nigga again. So it's a weird thing, because on one hand, seasonal anime is like the way, right? Because it makes it concise. Like I know every episode of the anime I'm watching is going to be canon. It's not, there's no filler shit. I would hate to have to wait a whole week for a new series and it's filler. But at least I can keep like something around. Like I can still remember that Naruto exists. So I'm gonna agree with bro here. I can't lie. And you know, Pan is a hater, so I don't like agreeing with this nigga, but he's low-key spitting, unfortunately. Lazy said Spy X Family was so mid and now no one cares about it. I hope there's no Spy X Family fans watching and they're gonna like unsub or whatever, but I agree, bro. I can't lie, because when Spy X Family first hit, like when I was first watching it, like whenever that was, like I think it was November 2023, it was decent, bro. That was probably one of the first slice of life ass shows I was watching, and I was like, okay, I can get behind this. This is low-key decent. And then like I don't even know how, I think it was like the dub wasn't current at the same like seasonal shit. And then like I just never picked up another episode again. Because like then I look back and I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I can remember like the point of the show, like the girl can read minds and the guy's a spy. It's like, it's almost like the entire show's a filler episode. So I like, no one cares about Spy Family, unfortunately. That is true. There was a time when that shit was taking over the world, bro. I remember, bro. But maybe it's just because it didn't really like evolve. And I'm not gonna say all slice of life are like that, but if you have a slice of life and then like nothing interesting happens, niggas are gonna fall off. And shout out Arlen again, because he has a big ass take, and he basically says that My Hero Academia is fire and people are hating on it because of their retarded fan base. I think My Hero Academia definitely does get some slander because of that. I think the shonen anime problem affects it for sure. I think that's a whole thing that involves that. But I do think that people look at like the shipping that My Hero loves to do for some weird, like I don't know why the fan base, y'all niggas are interesting, I'll say that. Y'all niggas love doing that. That definitely makes people like laugh at the series. And then I think also My Hero I think it was kind of slow. Like My Hero like 2016, like everyone was on it. Everyone was at least looking at it. But I don't think it captured enough people's eyes at first. Shout out Shaq, I think he would even say like, My Hero doesn't start off insane. I think he would say like even like season 4 or 5 is when it becomes insane. Especially in this current era, making niggas wait 4 to 5 seasons for a show to get amazing. They're not doing that, bro. Don't tell me that's One Piece. I'm not trying to hear that shit. And then he said, also, no one can top brain dead Dragon Ball fans and toxicity, especially when it comes to unnecessary power scaling that no one was talking about. And Saitama can easily be Goku. Yeah, that shit was low-key even a meme at some point, bro. Like, Dragon Ball Z fans only care about power scaling. There's a reason there's a meme of, but can he beat Goku? That shit was a real thing. That shit was weak though, but that shit was a real thing. I hate that every time I have to bring up Dragon Ball Z, it's always with hate or like I'm hating on it. Like when I tell you, it's so hard for me to convey, because when I tell you that I loved Dragon Ball Z as a kid, like it was Yu-Gi-Oh first, then like as anime Dragon Ball Z for a long time. Then I wisened up and found Naruto. But for a long time, it was still Dragon Ball Z. But it's just like, you be hearing niggas talk, and even like the fan base too. I'm not even trying to like go crazy, but they be like, oh yeah, Dragon Ball Z's top 5. Like, no, that shit's not top 5. Top 5 is crazy. I feel like you could name like top 5 anime that are like start with the letter D that are probably better. You know what I'm saying? Like Dawn of Dawn's probably better than Dragon Ball Z. You know, pause, there's a lot of D, pause, but I think that's also why people hate on Dragon Ball Z too, because the fans be like, Dragon Ball Z is so tough, and when you ask why, they're like, it created these other anime, it's so influential. Like, nigga, we don't care, bro. Niggas do not care about who made the first freaking note of music. That's not the top 5 all-time artists because they made music and shit. Like, no one cares about that, bro. Dragon Ball Z is cool and niggas overrated. That's just kind of what it is. So longer hot takes, you know what I'm saying? Let me know if you guys want to see more of that. I haven't done a hot takes in a couple years, bro. I'm not gonna lie, but it was fun going over y'all takes and whatnot. And even if y'all have some takes in the YouTube comments, I can come back and go over the comments and I'll make a new hot take if y'all want to see it. So let me know in the comments if you want to see it, and let me know what hot takes you guys agree with the most, because there are some really, really good ones. There are some that I agree with and some that are like, but yeah, y'all let me know down below. But I'm out, so peace.